Hello, Taurus, and welcome to my channel, Looking Glass Tarot. What I have for you is a general reading for the month of December 2016. Um, so I'm just going to go ahead and go along with the reading. The spread that I've used here is the Celtic Cross spread, also known as the Sun Cross spread as well. So I'm just going to dive right in. I just flipped these over before I turned on the camera, so let's go. All right, the first card we have is the starting point. So this is your pretty much your general energy for the month of December 2016. And what came up for you guys is the Eight of Cups. And what I'm seeing for the Eight of Cups is, you know, walking away from a situation that you have built up, um, and you'd gotten you know some things out of it, but it's just not really what you thought it may be or expected it to be. So you're choosing to kind of turn your back to it and walk away without looking back. And the reason for this being that there was something missing in regards to whatever situation this may be. But what's crossing you guys for this is the Seven of Pentacles. And I feel like for some of you, this may be, you're looking at, your money situation and figuring out a budget for yourself. Also, it may be, if it has to do with um, relationships, it could be, if for single people, it could be that you have a lot of options. I feel like if it has to do with your career, you could be, walking away to find something better for yourself. And the next card, which is your conscious side, which is like your kind of like your crowning thoughts. You've got the Queen of Pentacles, and this is a Taurus card. This card is definitely Taurus, so I feel like your crowning thoughts and your conscious side, you're more self-aware in the month of December than you have been. You're aware of yourself, and the things around you, your financial situation, um, relationships in your life, and decisions that you have made for yourself. You're kind of standing, you know, high and mighty. You're kind of proud of yourself, for the accomplishments that you have made, maybe as of lately. But yeah, you're thinking more of yourself, um, or at least trying to think more of yourself, about yourself than others for the time being. Kind of taking time to focus on yourself, and your unconscious side, like your subconscious. There's the Five of Cups. So I feel like some of you may have, subconsciously, there's a loss that you guys have had in the last year that um, subconsciously you're still kind of dealing with, even if consciously you kind of feel like you've dealt with it. that subconsciously there's still this feeling of loss and not really seeing, because there's like the three cups that have spilled over, and there's still two full cups there that you're not seeing. um, and that's kind of like tucked away in your subconscious, um, is that feeling of loss there. And then your past card relating to everything that came up is justice. So I feel like for some of you, this has to do with karma, whether it be good or bad. There's been a lot of like, uh, karmic things that have been happening. It could be related to legal stuff as well. Um, Getting everything together for like a legal matter, and weighing up, how you are going to victor in that area. Um, but I feel like it has more to do with karma, and like I said, it could be good or bad. And your future card that you have is another major arcana card, and the one that you got for this is death. So for me, with death, I feel this is more about transformation. Since you guys are kind of looking more to yourself, um, I feel like you're going to be transforming um, in a way that's better for you. Kind of walking away from things that no longer serve you, even though some of those things may be very hard to walk away from. Um, and kind of like right now, like with your general energy for that, it's, you know, walking away from something that no longer serves you, but you're doing it because it's necessary for your growth to be able to transform, um, with the death card in the future. Um, and your inner strength, next card, your inner strength, you have the eight of wands right here. The eight of wands. So for inner strength, I feel like that is you're able to make quick decisions based on things that you know. You're able to gather knowledge very quickly. Some of you might be very fast learners. Um, I'm also getting like taking lessons and applying them to, you know, taking the lessons you've learned and bringing them into reality, and then applying them to situations in your life. Um, this also could refer to your inner attitude, which with that could be, since some of us can be rather stubborn. I mean, I'm a Taurus, so just throw that out there. Some of us can be very stubborn. So I feel like inner attitude, I feel like this kind of has to do with our our stubbornness and our persistence and determination, um, in moving with things at times quicker than we should. So I feel like that has to do with like inner attitude as well. Um, and the hopes and fears, the card that came up for that is the Three of Swords. So I feel like some of you may be afraid, um, because this is the card of heartbreak and disappointment. I feel like as far as fears go, some of you are afraid to put yourself back out there and to um, get your heart broken again. And also for hope, you could be hoping that you know, hoping that your heart won't get broken again. Like for some of you, I feel like you may be feeling like you give and you give and you give, but what do you get in return, kind of thing. And that's what you're kind of fearing, is that you're giving too much and not getting enough in return. And that's what I'm getting with that card, is that that's a big fear with you guys, is that fear of heartbreak. I'm getting more fear than hope, really, with that one. But moving on to the next one, it's the outside influences and the attitude you present to the world. And for that, you got the Nine of Swords. So I feel like with outside influences, people are coming to you and planning, thoughts into your head, and some of the actions that people have been taking around you have been making you feel very anxious and very withdrawn from everyone else around you. Um, but it's making you very anxious, and you have all these thoughts, you know, bouncing around in your head, and it's very hard to. I'm getting hard to sleep at night for some of you. Um, you're kind of going through a little bit of insomnia, and it could have to do with that subconscious feeling of loss that you've had in your life recently or in the past, that's still kind of lingering there, um, that you should probably continue to work through. And the last card that we have is the outcome card. Um, and what you got for that was the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like for the outcome, you know, for a lot of you, you're just going to be kind of choosing to you're choosing to think of yourself, but also I feel like some of you are having a hard time, facing some of the things that you need to continue to deal with to have this transformation in the future, by focusing really hard on your work or your career, rather than love or even home life. I feel like you're more focused on work than relationships or love or home life or family. You're more focused on your career than anything else. That's what I'm getting from this. But there's a lot that you guys are dealing with, um, and working through. All right. So to move on to my last card that I have, it's an advice card. I always like to pull an advice card just to kind of try and help a little bit more. Um, and I pull that from my deck that I have, from Don Miguel Ruiz, which is called the Four Agreements. This is the box for that. You guys want to see that? Um, and the card that I pulled for you guys for the month of December, um, it says take action without expecting a reward. And on the back it says, do your best and take the action because you love it, not because you expect a reward. When you take action without expecting a reward, you enjoy every action and you can even receive greater rewards than you imagined. So to go along with that, the the feeling, the fear of disappointment and heartbreak with giving more than you receive, um, that's the thing. You need to let go of, expectations when it comes to giving. You give from your heart, and when you give from your heart and you don't expect anything in return, it feels so much better, you know, to to just give because you love to give. You know, anything, any action that you take, whether it's telling somebody that you love them, or with being a Taurus myself, it's I like to my loved ones, the people close to me, I'm very big on, if I see something that I know they'll like, I'll get it for them, and I'll buy it for them and I'll give it to them. That's my way of expressing my appreciation for them in my life, and my love for them, and my affection. Pretty much that's how I express that to my loved ones. um so and I do that without ever expecting that they give me anything in return. And it always feels great to know that I could get them something that they could use, or that they enjoyed looking at even. It makes me feel good, to be able to do that without the extra expectation. Um, I also feel like, um, some of you are afraid to keep giving because, um, maybe certain people that you're giving to haven't given you much in return. So you almost like they don't deserve you to keep giving. But the thing here is, do your best to give without expectation. I know it can be a hard thing to get started, and with as stubborn as we can be, I know change is hard. It is. Change is hard. But something you guys can think about and work on, in the month of December, is giving. And with Christmas there, maybe you have friends that you're going to be buying gifts for, and they can't afford to, you know, give something back to you, and it's not because they don't want to give you something in return. Maybe they just can't, and, you know, for me, when I give without expectation, I give that person something, and the smile that they get on their face when I give it to them is all the reward that I need. Um, that's what warms my heart and makes me feel good. And know that I made a good decision in deciding to give. Um, because in the end, you'll receive greater rewards. That's the same thing. In the past with the karmic stuff. You know, Usually if you do good to others, and you get that good karma back. You'll Good stuff will happen to you. Um, but I believe that's all I have for you guys for the month of December. So please like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to leave them in the comments. I hope you guys have a happy holiday, and I'll see you guys in January.